Well, how y'all are this afternoon? This is your buddy George Jones over here at the Bergen Gun Range with my next installment on, hey, I got this old rock. And the old rock I got today is the one that if you're not careful will shoot all the way through you. We're talking about this little rock's relationship to Tannerite. So this is, on the internet there are tons of videos about Tannerite. There are tons of videos of people blowing stuff up with Tannerite. There's tons of videos of people coming very close to being maimed or killed by Tannerite. There are guys blowing up dump trucks on a frozen lake with Tannerite and sitting off the alarm, blowing up buildings and just all kinds of crazy stuff. Well, I want to talk about Tannerite for a minute, and I want to talk about Tannerite in a useful way. I scrolled through YouTube the other night, and there's all kinds of craziness around Tannerite on YouTube. I couldn't find a single video that addressed the safety issues of it, the proper use of it. I've got 4 Tannerite targets sitting up down there. They're sitting up, they're made up in, there's this divided into 4, this 8-ounce divided into 4 in skull cans. And we're going to shoot them here in a minute, but we're going to talk about this guy. Now you see guys all the time putting videos up of them shooting stuff with Tannerite. They're shooting refrigerators and washing machines and old microwave ovens, you know, and not taking into account that an explosion from this exploding target or exploding target mix could drive a sheet metal screw at bullet velocity for 100 yards or 200 or 3 or pick up this rock, which is what they call in military blasting terms a secondary missile. You set this down there on the ground, it's an 8-ounce bottle. You sit this guy down there on the ground in the gravel pit over there and shoot it. It can pick up one of these or multiples of these and drive them at bullet velocity for a long way. Drive it at a high enough speed that it would actually penetrate a human body, that would actually bust a car windshield, it would actually do significant damage to someone's property that you would be responsible for. And you'd be responsible if that rock got picked up or that sheet metal screw got flung, you know. So, you know, I don't know how it is in other states. In Kentucky and Commonwealth law, you're responsible for every bullet that you fire and its result, you know, so be careful. Now I put it in dip cans that sound about like a 12-gauge shotgun when they go off, and I think that's the intended purpose of Tannerite, is to create good recreational exploding targets. They don't call it smile powder for nothing. Having said all of that, now here's the rules. This is a binary material, so this is an uncapsulated ammonium nitrate 0096 ammonium. And to go with it, there's a little activator, a little envelope of stuff that's like powdered magnesium, superfine powdered magnesium and aluminum powder mixed, and you put this with it, shake it up, mix it until it turns gray, and then it's ready to shoot. All right, you're good. Title 18 U.S. Code allows you to mix and use explosive materials on your own property, on your own business, but you have to use it on the site where it was made, okay? You're not allowed to transport it. You're not allowed to sell it mixed. You're not allowed to sell it to someone because you don't have an explosives license and they don't have an explosive receiver's license, okay? You're not allowed to put the leftover amount that you didn't use in your vehicle and drive it home. You have to pour it out on the ground if you don't shoot it or blow it up. And it won't hurt nothing if you pour it out on the ground. I poured out a little bit right over here because I had too much, you know, and in a couple of 3 weeks there'll be a nice big green spot right there in the place where the grass grows a little bit better because it's ammonium fertilizer. So we can get it, we can mix it up, and we can use it on site. You can't sell it, you can't transport it, and that's the rules. I don't know if the Commonwealth of Kentucky has any laws about it, about Tannerite, but I know the federal government does. So you're limited to what you can do with it. Mix it on site, use it on site, and pour out what's left. Now it's safe in its form. You can take Tannerite when it's activated, mixed up, and pour it in a campfire, and it won't burn, it'll put the fire out. You can't set it off hitting it with a hammer. The only way you can set it off is putting a high velocity bullet through it. And it needs to be going at least 2,500 feet a second. So 218B, 243, 22 Hornet. It doesn't consistently fire with 17 HMR, but it does consistently fire with 17 WSM. And with that in mind, we're going to shoot some. So what I'm going to do is, going to move the old camera around so you can see it. So you can see the action. That over. And then we're going to shoot a little bit. $17 over here. Get this one up in there. Put her back here and try for the most obvious one. Boom, there it is. All right. We have another one down there. See, one more. Boom. All right, we have another one sitting up there on that A-frame. I think it's up there. Let's see. All right, we got one sitting down there on the 50-yard taped to a T-post. Let's see if we can hit it. Well, if I can find it in the sights. Where is it? There it is. Well, I missed it, or I hit it, or did something, or hit the post and knocked it off there. Find it again. Well. F9, see if we knocked it off there. Yep. There it is. All right, here we go. It's so little. There it is. There we go. I put so much black electrical tape on it, I couldn't see it anymore. So anyway, there we go. That's basically Tannerite. You have fun with it. Don't get too crazy, don't get too bent out of shape. Now if you're out on a farm someplace where you're a long way from somebody, you know, and you want to blow something up, by all means do it. Just remember, it is an explosive when it's hit with a bullet, and there is a secondary missile hazard. You know, there's that. So you need to set your shots up in such a way that you don't have a secondary missile hazard. One of those was sitting on a steel device that I know wouldn't blow up from just that amount of Tannerite. Most of them were sitting on old truck tires that, you know, didn't have any secondary missile hazard. One of them was on a T-post down at 50 yards that I know that wouldn't damage that post. And like that. So, hey, now, give you a tip. You can order this stuff UPS right through the mail, or, well, UPS and United Parcel Service, not U.S. Postal Service. But they'll send it to you, United Parcel, FedEx. The best, cheapest way is to get your own containers, and they'll send you a 20-pound bag, and it's about $70. Last time I bought a 70-pound bag of it, it held me for a long time. Making dip can targets with it, it held me for a long time. You got a little family fire parachute or something you're going to put together, that's the way to go. All right then, like, take, share, commentate, and subscribe. Leave me no dollar in the Patreon bucket, and if you want to, and if you don't, I'll keep making content for you, and please, play safe. All right then, we'll see y'all.